So there's these small YouTube channels named Ludwig and Pokimane, and in case you can't tell, I do not like them. I like nothing on this channel. I have been born in the dark, molded by it, raised by it. And just like a baby bird getting worms spat in its mouth, I'm gonna spit some chewed up random opinions, shove it down your guys' throat, you know? That was the grossest analogy I've ever had the pleasure of using on this channel so far, and you guys are gonna like it whether you really do or not, but you get the idea. Point is that Ludwig and Pokimane have both had their fair share of drama recently, but I don't want to just sit here and talk about the drama. I just want to talk about why I absolutely hate these two people. And TLDR of it, if you guys want to know, it's because I think that they are fence-sitting leeches, and they pretend to be something that they're not, which is two little angels, but of course, as we all know, they are not two little angels. And I've also especially hated Pokimane because she is literally the antithesis to my existence. She's one of those people who are just the polar opposite of me, and I can't believe that she has a higher net worth than the average school janitor, which just really goes to show you on how not oversaturated, but like how overvalued streaming is to an extent. But then again, I mean, who knows? Entertainment is pretty expensive at the end of the day, but like a deer in headlights, Ludwig is also collateral damage because he's starting to become more and more similar to the people he hangs out with, which is something that is natural, but something that I believe he has a fault in to a certain extent. He is still himself, he can control himself and his actions, but he decided to let his primal instincts take over, and so here this video is. Before we continue, I would like to make a few disclaimers. First of all, please don't go harassing the people I mentioned in my video. There's legitimately no reason to harass these people. Everything presented here is all allegations and just everything that I say on the speculation of like the videos and the evidence that I show. It's just purely my opinion based on like the context of what I know at least. There's genuinely no fact or basis of what I'm saying, and I'm simply here just to offer my ramblings to you guys. And if you guys want to listen to it along with like some Minecraft gameplay in the background, or you're just mining for diamonds or whatever in the background, you just turn me on and then listen to me talk. But if you want to make a change, just don't watch their videos. Don't give them that click, because that extra click, that one comment, it's still engagement, which makes the people you harass technically stronger. So please do not go out of your way to harass these people. Don't leave negative comments on their videos. That just makes you a douchebag, and no one likes douchebags. Second, yes, I dislike Pokimane. Yes, it is totally because I'm a maidenless incel, which for some reason is an actual argument that people use even though I'm still a minor. It's like they're insulting me for not having sex as a minor, which I think is just funny. I'm not even mad. And also on top of that, I'm Catholic, so they're literally getting mad at me for practicing my religion's rule of no sex until marriage. I just can't even understand that thought process. But anyways, my hate for Pokimane definitely comes from the fact that she is a female, and it's totally not because this person is doing bad things and just so happens to be a female who uses and abuses her female card more than people use Pot of Greed. Just like the name Pot of Greed too, her copyright team could end up on Extreme Cheapskates because of how stingy they are when it comes to Pokimane's content. So the third thing that I want to say is that I also won't be showing any Pokimane or Ludwig clips either. I'll just link some of my sources down below in the description if you want to go check it out yourself. And also there will be like bullet points and like timestamps as to of those things if you want to check it out yourself as proof. And I'll also show it like on screen as well, so you don't have to go out of your way to look at it. But if you really want to verify the authenticity of the screenshots that I show, I'll just link some of my sources down below in the description if you want to go check it out yourself. I'll also have it like bulleted as well as like the timestamp in which I got it on screen, and also like in the screenshot anyways, and you can just look at it, verify the authenticity of it yourself. Sorry about that, that sounded really weird. Fourth and finally, this video won't really be talking about the recent drama with Ludwig or Pokimane. This is more of a tangent that banks off the algorithm of the current drama with Ludwig and Pokimane. And now that we're finally done with the disclaimers, we can begin my rant on Pokimane and Ludwig. And also, one final thing, thank you to Curse for giving me the idea to make this video. One of your videos popped up in my recommended page, so I decided to just make a rant on both of these goobers. And I encourage you, the audience, to check out his page, primarily because a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is going to be referring to the videos that Curse has made and events that he covers, but also because y'all who are watching me should support him because he gave me the video idea too anyways, so he should at least have a cut of this harvest of views. So with that being said, let's begin. First, let's start off with Ludwig. I genuinely think that the way Ludwig protects his friends is just absolutely abhorrent and annoying. Take, for example, the recent Mango drama. Literally just Google up Mango drama and you'll see videos explaining the situation. TLDR, Mango was doing a few things that were making girls very, very uncomfortable. You can just go look it up, see for yourself on what actually happened. But what makes me more annoyed, well, not more annoyed since there's victims in the Mango situation, like obviously that's annoying and even, dare I say, really bad that there's victims with the Mango situation. But, you know, what annoys me about Ludwig in this context is just the way he handles drama overall. He's too much of a people pleaser. And the frustrating thing about it is that he doesn't understand that when he's in drama, he can't make everyone happy. Everyone is sad in drama. Everyone feels negative emotions in drama. And I can relate to this too. If you know a lot of people, or if a lot of people are consciously aware of your existence, you're gonna have haters no matter what. But from what I have seen, I just don't think that Ludwig gets the idea that in drama, the only way to please everyone is to bend your ass over backwards and admit that you're wrong even when you aren't. And to be quite frank, that still makes people mad. Because, you know, the people who, you know, they think that they are right. So they get a little bit more mad because, you know, you're not trying to make it up to them in that, like, on the spot. Like, you know, that doesn't really, it still makes people mad nonetheless. You're always going to be encountering negative people in drama. And to be quite frank, he's a huge fence sitter and a huge people pleaser, and that is just something that has really annoyed me about content creators nowadays. For example, Ludwig was featured on a podcast named An Unfiltered Conversation with Ludwig Agren, Money, Addiction, and Quitting YouTube, which was uploaded on March 17, 2024. I'm sorry if I botched your last name, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. But anyways, at the 1 hour, 40 minute, 25 second mark of the podcast, he states that, and I quote, "Dude, Kick offered me nothing." They had like a big conversation. We were like talking about these fucking huge 8-fig numbers, and they came back. They're like maybe we can give you like this hourly deal per hour stream, like $1,500. But it was like a very bare bones deal. They did not want me. Why different audiences do you think? I don't know why, but I think it's just who probably the creators they're trying to target. Ending the quote. I had a stroke reading that, but sorry if I didn't read it like one to one, because I can't read like that. But anyways, now that quote in of itself is very spoiled. Like, in my opinion, what he said right there is very, very spoiled. This guy's completely detached from reality. I don't think he understands the amount of money that is, but that's not what I'm here to point out. I'm here to point out the fact that a few months later, on July 10, 2024, he states that he caps his donations because he's too rich. I genuinely think that, and this is my opinion, him capping his donations is just a little marketing thing that he does in order to seem more humble and nice and please everyone around him. Make him seem like, oh, he's so nice. Oh, look at him. He's so humble. He doesn't want to take the money from his audience. But the problem with that is that he's also a greedy fucking guy. So just the fact that he caps his donations and then explains that he does it just because he doesn't want to take from the poor, while openly denying deals that imply his hourly worth is worth more, just kind of makes me feel like he's trying to seem like the saint when in reality he isn't. But sure, there's a few flaws in that argument. For one, Kick is a wasteland of a platform. It's not even profitable. The far lands are less barren than Kick nowadays. And two, maybe he just didn't want to stream on Kick because, you know, old is gold, you know? Like, Twitch is pretty goated. They have a really nice discoverability, and that I understand. And that point, I can concede. Because, you know, it's a bit of a stretch, and also on top of that, who knows, maybe he really is just a really nice guy, and I'm like trying to like shoot innocent people or something like that at the end of the day. He has done a commercial for Coinbase, a crypto exchange. Crypto, you say? Oh, you mean worthless digital dookies? These worthless lines of code that mean nothing? You mean people that can buy in hopes that the value will go up? Oh, you mean something similar to a stock? Stock? I've heard of stock before. It's where you punch your goddamn money into the market, and in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you pray amen to your stock going up. By the way, yes, crypto is a form of gambling, and yes, Coinbase facilitates crypto, therefore gambling. However, in this video right here you uploaded on May 18, 2024, you condemn sponsored gambling, saying this very real quote here at 3:49, "I would never take a gambling sponsorship." And also, on top of that, I forgot to mention this, you say that the only reason why, you didn't even mention anything about, oh, they're gambling, so therefore I don't want to promote them. You literally say, later on, somewhere in there, I don't remember, but I'll show it right now, you say, oh, I didn't want to do Coinbase because, Coinbase has gone under and that they suck as a sponsor and that no one wants to watch them as a sponsor. So while I was doing a little bit more research on the whole, Ludwig being sponsored by Coinbase type of thing, and I'm just like, fact checking, make sure that I said everything correctly and that there's, no interpretation for error on what I said. He has an unlisted stream on his channel. It was streamed on July 19, 2022, so basically like a month after he said, oh, I don't take gambling sponsorships. Yeah, like 1 month after saying that, he talks about how, I haven't been paid fully by Coinbase because it turns out, they're not paying me well and we can't really sue them because we didn't fulfill our end of the deal, so we need to do another sponsorship. So essentially, in the middle of him being in a sponsorship partnership type of thing with Coinbase, and I quote, Coinbase Global Inc. is an American cryptocurrency exchange. So he was in the middle of a sponsorship with a cryptocurrency exchange while saying that gambling sponsorship equal bad. I no take gambling sponsorship. That makes no sense at all, Lud. Pick a damn side already. Is gambling good or bad? Is it should it be banned or not? Are you gonna continue taking gambling sponsorships or not? So yeah, although I don't blame you for doing the the Coinbase sponsorship after saying that, I don't blame you for that because you were in the middle of a contract. Why would you say something like this just to sound like a good person in the first place? It just sounds like you were trying to bank off the whole, oh, sponsored gambling is bad, therefore I should speak out on it to look good. That's what I get from you saying that while in the middle of a Coinbase sponsorship. And the reason why I bring up Ludwig's past is, number one, I just wanted to point that out, that he's had this history of just taking both sides at the same time and trying to have his cake and eat it too. But it's also because I'm sick and tired of streamers, well, not streamers actually, generally just content creators in general, putting on this toe-sucking angel persona where they're trying to constantly keep both sides close, like the kid trying to keep mommy content creator and daddy audience together in the marriage. And another example of this is, as you guys can probably tell from the thumbnail, the recent Pokimane drama, where Pokimane says, fuck the rich, like a bunch of gangsters saying, fuck the police. You guys can watch other people's videos on that topic, but nowadays it's gotten so obvious that a vast majority of content creators are trying to put on this fake persona of bandwagoning on the most middle-class ideologies ever, and trying to relate to the poor. Pokimane's never been in poverty from what I've seen, because at least both her parents got minimum wage in Canada, so at the very least, she's been high working class. If not, I'd actually place my guesses at middle class, when she was, as a kid. And Ludwig's definitely been poor during his childhood, but now as a streamer, it's gotten so clear that he's lost any concept of money, and so has Pokimane actually. I think both of them have lost complete control and complete concepts of money, and what is a big amount and what isn't. But yeah, I just genuinely don't think that a majority of content creators understand that they should just be honest and respectful about their opinion, while still having an opinion that may differ between themselves and the audience. For example, I do it. A lot of my audience has differing beliefs from me. For example, I think that everyone acts in their own selfish interests. There's no person who doesn't have skeletons in their closet, and everyone always puts on a mask when they talk to people in order to conceal who they are and what their problems really are. While on the other hand, a lot of my audience has a more positive outlook on life. They all believe that, there's good in the world, and if life gives you lemons, you'll make lemonade. And that's a fair point. I can respect my audience's opinion, and as long as they respect mine, I can respect theirs. And also on top of that, with the exception of a few people, there's a decent amount of people in my comment section, actually, who don't really agree with me, but they like the video because of the way I present, my opinion. And that's okay. That is a good relationship to have with your audience. For them to not be too close to you, but at the same time respect your opinion and also be entertained by you, because that's the whole point of entertainment. But at the very least, I can make it work. I can handle the fact that there's gonna be people who don't like me. There's gonna be people who click the thumbs down button and says, oh, Willie Tatey, you're a stinky poo-poo head. But on the other hand, every other content creator I know is trying to always please people, and it's really just gotta stop, because at the end of the day, if you're too scared of getting negative comments, why are you on the internet? we, the audience, know when people actually mean what they say, or at least most of us do. Like, there's some people that I can think of that don't really know whether or not people actually mean what they say, because so much information is available on these people, and not even in a creepy way either. We can tell whether or not they're lying based on their facial expressions, and if they don't have a face, or if they're just like a moai emoji, then we can tell based on what they say later on, and whether or not they genuinely follow up with their words based on their actions. My final advice to you, Pokimane and Ludwig, if you guys are watching this, which fat chance they are, but whatever, like, a few unexpected people showed up in my comment section, like Speezy and Steak and Parlo, so I didn't expect those guys to show up, but they did, so maybe, who knows, maybe Ludwig and Pokimane are gonna show up. But anyways, if they are watching, my final advice to them, and they don't really need to take this, they're rich as shit, who cares what this kid has to say, but if they really want to be the Giga Chad they paint themselves as, stop trying to please everyone. The wolf does not concern themselves of like the weak, or the wolf does not concern themselves with the weak, like, you get the idea. If you genuinely are rich, then you don't need to worry about money anymore. So just work on yourselves as people. There's legitimately no need to paint yourselves as saints to your audience when, number one, it's apparent that you don't believe in what you say. You're just bending over for your audience, for them donos. And two, you're rich as hell. You should not be spitting in the face of your audience and whisper sweet nothings into their ear. You ain't making your audience happier. You're just increasing the impact of the hit on yourselves and your audience once you inevitably disappoint them. Because you will. You will disappoint your audience in the future. I have many times. But at least your audience won't hold their standards of you that high. This belief of mine is probably because I haven't been a content creator for that long, but that's what I have to say about it. Overall, you will disappoint your audience in the future. It's inevitable. But at the very least, like, be mature about it. Like, just, flip it, we ball, and just go at it. Don't lie to your audience. They'll feel betrayed. Well, I mean, they shouldn't really feel betrayed in the first place because, that's being way too parasocial, but you get the idea. The audience is just going to be confused at who you are as a person if you don't make your beliefs concrete, and if you just keep on bandwagoning every single time. Are you really a human being, or are you just like another puppet in flesh? And yeah, I mean, that's about it. That's all I really gotta say. Overall, Ludwig and Pokimane are sitting in pretty uncomfortable positions, and they should probably have marks on their ass because of the fence just poking at it. So get off, rub some ointment on your bum to heal it, and stop sitting on the fence. Again, I'm not in their position, so I genuinely don't know what is causing them, or content creators in general, to just say what they clearly don't believe in, because it's only going to make their life as a content creator harder. It's not like I don't say what I don't believe in either. For example, I question myself as to whether or not I actually deserved my score for my AP Chem exam. I did pretty good on all my other APs, but I studied my ass off and did like 20 practice tests. But then again, maybe I was just doing those for the extra credit. I don't know. But either way, sometimes I say things that I don't believe in, and also beliefs can change. You get the idea. Like, at least stick true to your morals and stop remaining uncommitted on an issue. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. Just be honest about your beliefs. It's the internet. People are going to hate you for whatever you do anyways. So maybe consider not giving a hoot anymore and just making yourselves happy instead of trying to be someone you're not. Which content creators are trying to be something that they're not. That's their whole job. They're supposed to be entertaining. They're not like automatically entertaining in real life. But at least try and alleviate that burden a little bit by standing by your beliefs and not being a coward. That's about it. That's all I really got to say. I hope you all have a good day. And bye.